Hello, this is Akiko Sudano at stampinginthemeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be making a card this afternoon. Let me just check and make sure that I am here. I'm going to refresh my page. There we go, and then get on here so I can see the comments. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. There we go. I think. I don't know. There we go. Oops. Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. So I hope that folks had a nice time yesterday afternoon with the World Card Making Day, and I hope that you got a chance to do some crafting and making some cards and having a nice, relaxing day. And thank you so much, Karen, and happy Sunday to you as well. And hi, Amy. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that everybody is doing well. We have a very cold and rainy day here in Pennsylvania, but everything is fine and just really can't complain. So I'm gonna, it is fall and it is October. And so what I wanted to do was, one of the things that I always liked about October is Oktoberfest and a chance to drink some beer and to do some partying with some beer. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I should use the Brewed For You stamp bundle to make an Oktoberfest card. And so this is my card today, and I have a couple of mugs of beer here, and then I pulled the Let's Celebrate from the, which stamp set was that one? That was the Splendid Thoughts. That's such a nice, let's celebrate. So I pulled that together, and my thought was, let's celebrate Oktoberfest. So this is the card that I'm going to make today. And before I get too far into things, let me go ahead and remind you about the Stampin' Up free shipping on Tuesday. So that was a big thing that was announced by the Stampin' Up team in their World Card Making Day event. So I started with a Cajun Craze card base, and then I use this pretty paper. This is going to be my background paper, and this is I love this paper anyway. But this is from the Christmas what was that called? Boughs of Holly thing, and it's just so different and it's just so perfect to go with a couple of mugs of beer. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and use that because it gives it kind of a fallish, but also a rustic and warm sort of background. And then I don't know. I kind of look at the splotches in the back as kind of reminding me of beer bubbles. So I'm putting this panel on a soft suede background, and I will have all of the cardstock cut, the measurements, and all the descriptions in my blog tomorrow morning. So I'll post that there. So I put the Designer Series paper on a soft suede mat. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me. And then I have another panel, and this is from the Rustic Harvest stamp set, and this is the Cajun Craze. And then all these little bubbles also remind me of those little bubbles that you see rising up in your beer mugs and stuff. So I thought, okay, that's perfect. So it's like there's lots of beer bubbles floating up in the back there. So I'm going to put this across, and I'm going to adhere this with liquid glue onto my panel here, and I have this lined up, and you could do either the Designer Series paper, glue those on first, or glue those on afterwards, and I just decide to put the first Designer Series paper on top first. So let's see here. There we go. That looks straight. And then I wanted to add one other piece, and it's a little bit hard to see, but I do have a piece of the Layering Designs Vellum, and this is this is the panel that has the words written in different scripts that are kind of all kind of squares and stuff like that. So I used the largest circle die from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to put that on here, and it's just going to ground the mugs of beer there. And I am going to just use Stamp and Seal, and I think that I don't have to be very careful with where I go. I just put 2 pieces of this on here, approximately where I'm going to put my beer mugs. So I'll just put that down because most of it's covered by this, so I don't have to worry about the adhesive showing through the vellum. And I'll kind of put this on here, and I think the main thing here is to make sure that the writing is kind of straight, and I want it kind of off to the side. There we go. See, so you can see how the adhesive is shining through by the vellum, but you know what? That's going to be covered up by our beer mugs afterwards, so I'm not so worried about that. And then I'm going to put this on a Cajun Craze card base, and my sample card is a top folding card base. And then for the inside, I've stamped the OL yes sentiment with the big beer jug and stuff like that. So, but this card I can do with either a top folding card or a side folding card. So for the one I have today, I have a side folding card. This is the 5.5 by 8.5 inch card base. And what I want to do is adhere this on with dimensionals, but kind of put it off to the side so that I've got plenty of room for my sentiment over here. So let me go ahead and get my dimensionals and load this guy up and put this on. Let's see. One more for the middle here, and one more for the top corner here. There we go. And then I'll pull the covers off. I really love German food, and I think that Oktoberfest is a nice excuse for having some beer and celebrating German culture in the fall. So I always just like that. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. Perfect. So glad it's October and perfect for this time of year. So I'm going to just line this up, just kind of on the edge here. Nice straight. That looks okay. So just put that on. So there, my card base is ready to go. So let's go ahead and stamp some beer mugs. Okay, so there's 2 pieces basically for each of the different mugs. Actually, 3 stamps. You have a stamp for the outline of the mug, and then a stamp for the foam, and for the beer on the inside. And these 2, I have, the first time I used this set, I stamped the mugs in Memento Tuxedo Black. But since I've got gray granite, I decided that I would go ahead and stamp my mugs in gray granite. And it gives it a slightly subtler look. So I'm going to go ahead and use the gray granite for my cards. My card today for my beer today, and I'm stamping on a basic white panel. So I've got my gray granite ink here, and ink up my mug. One, I'll do 2 mugs. Okay, that looks good. And then I want to do my foam. And so I'm also going to use gray granite for the foam. Okay. And then for the beer, I decided that I would use crushed curry for the beer. Now, I think that I tried to use a darker beer because I like dark beers, and so I tried to use a darker shaded not soft suede. I tried to use soft suede on it, and I thought that that was a little bit dark, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the crushed curry, and I think that looks good. Yes, Karen, this is I think a good masculine card. This stamp set is perfect for masculine cards. So when I do this, one of the things that I try to do is I try to stamp the beer a little bit over towards the left so that it doesn't get too far to the right. It's hard to center, I think, on the inside, but I think that's the ideal thing. And so it's like it doesn't go in all the way to the bottom of the mug, but I think that that's okay too. And so line it again so that it's a little bit to the left, and then I think there's lines that are from the highlights of the glass, the fluting in the glass, and you could use that to help you line things up. So this one is a little bit over to the right, and I think that it's okay, but I prefer to have it over on the left side, or so that it's more centered. And so for me to get it centered, I try to line it up for on the left side. I am a beer drinker. Yes, I do like I like craft beers, I guess, and I like the summer ales in the summertime, and then I definitely like a darker beer, especially from the craft beer places and stuff. So then we've got dies to cut out the cups, and I'm going to use this die for this mug, and there is a die to cut out the foam. So I'm going to use that one there. And then since I've already got this one cut out and put together, I'm going to just take this over to my die cutting machine and die cut just one of these each out. So years ago I was working for a guy that was of German descent. And he always celebrated Oktoberfest, and so they had lots of, they had beer, and then it was autumn, so they would have like a fire outside, which was always so fun, and then also some awesome German food, which just was a great thing to enjoy too. And so that's when I became a convert for that. And it's such a fun thing, just a fun thing to do, fun afternoon. So I've got my mug cut out, and I'm going to cut out my foam and line this up. And crank it up. There we go. I think this looks lined up pretty well. Go. Okay. So here we go. We have a die cut for the foam, and then your mug right here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to attach the foam, and I'm going to do it in the back of the mug. Hold on a second. What was that, Karen? Yes. My wild side. Well, what can I say? A good beer is a good beer. So when I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere this, and I'm just going to put it a little bit on the edge and just kind of flick just little dots of glue from the top of the card and just to keep it on the edge so that it doesn't like go over onto my other image. And then I'll take this, I can put this down. My paper's going to get a little bit sticky, but I want to set it up so that I can, and it's going to hold. So that this little mark will line up with the side of the cup, and then this little mark will line up with the corner of the cup. And there you should be good. And then just give it a little bit of a press, and then carefully pull it from your paper, and then let it go. So I've got my 2 beer mugs here, and then of course you could use the rest to cut it out. Hi Chi, thank you so much for joining me. All right, so then, okay, so I think the next thing, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and cut out our sentiment. And I'm using the Let's Celebrate, because it's a celebration, stamp from the Splendid Thoughts stamp set. And that's it's a fun sentiment. And I'm going to stamp this on gray granite, and I'm using soft suede ink. And I'm going to ink this up in my, yeah, okay. And I'm going to just kind of stamp it on the middle of my panel here and get good coverage. Okay, that looks pretty good. And again, I'll have all the cardstock cuts on my blog tomorrow when I go to write this up. So let's see, where is the die? So I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies with it, and I'm using this die for the sentiment for the label. And this is the large stitched die. That's the one that I used to cut out the layering Designs Vellum that I did that earlier. So I'm going to take this over to my die cutting machine and just line it up and just keep it straight and just cut this out like that. I think that the gray granite looks just really nice with all these colors, and so I'm glad that the paper uses that, and it goes well with the Cajun Craze as well. Okay. There we go. Hopefully this is straight. There we go. Okay, so there's our label, and so let's go ahead and assemble our card. So the first, I'll move this over to the side here. The first mug, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the card right here, and I just want to keep it straight, and I'm going to put this on with glue dots, and just a couple. And then the second mug we'll go ahead and put on with dimensionals. And basically just want to keep it straight so that you don't spill your beer. And see, it just covers up the the adhesive from the vellum, so you can't see that. The second one, we're going to give it a little bit of dimension, and we're going to put this one on with dimensionals. Stick one down here, and then stick one up on the top with the foam. There we go. And I guess you could cut a skinny one to put on the handle there, but I didn't feel like, it's not that delicate, so I didn't feel like I needed it that badly, so I didn't put that on. Oops. Try to be neat, and there you go. And what I want to do is I want to put this on so that it's just a little bit below the first one. And again, what you want to do is you want to keep it straight, like that. That's good. And then put on the label, just tuck the label underneath that with dimensionals. Now, where's the dimensionals? I had them right here. Here we go. My little half dimensionals. Just put 2 of these on here. Pull the covers off. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for joining me. And just tuck this under here, and then you can stick it anywhere over here because you've got plenty of room over here. And I just want to tuck it in behind this mug. I want to position it so that I can see the letters, and that everything is, there we go, and it's straight. Those are the two criteria here. So, okay, so then to finish off the card front, I'm going to just take one of these little rustic gems. I'm not going to put any ribbons or bows on it. Just keep it simple. I think the vellum does a nice job for dressing it up a little bit. And get one of these little, and this is the rustic gems, and this is a little one. There we go. Stick it up. Just stick that in the corner there to dress that up. There. So this is done. Let's see. Okay, so the next thing, so our card front is done. So next we're going to work on the inside. And for the inside, I have another basic white panel. And I want to, if we're going to celebrate, it's like this sentiment that says, oh, yes, that is the perfect sentiment, perfect response for wanting to celebrate. So let's go ahead and stamp that in there. Thank you, Linda. This set was just such a fun set when it came out, and perfect for guys. Oops, that's a little, it's not covered. There we go. It's perfect for guys, but I think that if you want to invite people over to celebrate Oktoberfest, if this would be a perfect kind of thing to set up, either invitations or just announcements, or just fun, or make it so that it's got more of a birthday theme, and it would be perfect for a guy with a fall birthday, or any kind of celebration for fall. So then the next thing, and I'm going to go ahead. I was debating whether I should stamp this off. Let's see here on my scratch paper. Was debating whether I should stamp this full strength or stamp this off. Let's see here. There's full strength, and there's stamped off. I think that it's a little bit too light, and this is in gray granite, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this full strength and stamp this kind of next to it, but kind of over the top of it. And I want to make sure that, again, that I am sort of straight, because we haven't had that much in terms of beers, or we can't keep our things straight. And then it's fine if try to center it, but having it so that it's a little bit off center, I think, is fine too. And then we'll finish the inside. And this is a basic white panel. I don't think I said that. Finish the with a little bit trim of the Designer Series paper with the Cajun Craze Designer Series paper from the Rustic Harvest on the bottom. And I will put that on with a little bit of liquid glue. And there we go. I do my trims in liquid glue so that I have a little bit of time to play with it, because this is definitely something that I need to play with. And then I'll check the back to make sure. See, like that is like way crooked, so I would want to straighten that out. And I always find it good to make it just a little bit longer and then trim the end with paper snips. Oops, there we go. Keep my blade next to the thing, and that's nice and fine. So there's my inside, and we will adhere this to the inside with Stampin' Seal. And I think sometimes for me, side folding cards are easier to align the center of the inside panel. So I just kind of make sure that this is the side borders. 3 borders are the same, and that this is kind of straight, because if this is a little bit too close on the side of the fold here, I think that works. It still works. It's fine, and it's harder to notice that. So sometimes I think side folding cards are a little bit easier, especially with Stampin' Seal, where you're using something that doesn't give you a little bit more play, like with liquid glue. So that's my card for today. I hope you like it, and I hope that you're able to enjoy fall, whether it's for Oktoberfest or going pumpkin patch picking and or apple picking or whatever. Just I hope that you have some nice fall days that you can enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.